Niagara 124, your source for news, entertainment, food, and jibber jabber. Put on your thinking caps, run around galley, and prepare for your debriefing on current events. This week on Niagara 124, Apple versus the Feds. Who will win on this chance of security versus privacy? Deaths of legends. Many people we lost over the week. Some great, some fashionable. All this and more on 124. Hello everybody on this fabulous Friday, February 19th, 2016. As always, I'm Nico, Bobby is not here, and this is Niagara 124. If you want to talk to me because I get so very lonely in the studio, as always you can call in and be on the show at 716-286-7315. That's 286-7315. You know you want to. If you don't want your voice to be on the radio, you can always tweet us at Niagara124. Our old episodes are on YouTube, Niagara1/24, and go to our Facebook page and like it, Niagara1/24. So anywho, it's been a very busy week in the news. As always, I'm going to delay until Bobby gets here. So first, we're going to talk about something interesting, what I like to call the Niagara 124 payroll. Yes, you see, Niagara 124, when we started off 4 semesters ago, was a great show. In fact, it was one of the most listened to shows in the lovely land of W. Of course, now we're kind of one of the least listened to shows. I don't know what happened. It's yeah, I would say that's unacceptable. I would say that the statistics are artifice. Maybe it's the fact that we're always using the soundboard. It might just be the soundboard. But anywho, so we're gonna have to cut some positions. Starting with Puppet James. You see, Puppet James was good, he was great, but now that the real James is gone, there's no need to have the Puppet James. So, Puppet James, you're off the payroll. I wish I had a sound for that. Like, moving on. Italian Raul Castro. You were there for that one time that Andrew Cuomo was going to Cuba. You're a one-off. There's no point in having you. You're off the payroll. Moving on. The old man from season 1. You're off the payroll. Russian guy who does our commercials. You're still on the payroll, but you're not getting a Christmas bonus. And as always, our mascot, Sheepy, is getting paid in delusional money from shut down shopping malls. So, free publicity. Woo. Hey guys, if you like our mascot, go like her on Twitter, @SheepyNiagara. Also, She totally wrote a blog that should be up sometime today. If you go to our WNIA homepage and you go into the blogs. Yeah, you ever want to read a blog from a cartoon sheep? You totally want to read a blog from a cartoon sheep. I'm going to go into the news because Bobby never knows the news anyway. He's going to know that one. He's going to know that one. He's going to know that one. He's not going to know that one, but he's going to comment on it. He's going to know that one. Please, someone call in. Please clap. Please clap. I'm having a Jeb Bush moment, ladies and gentlemen, where I totally was going to win this, and then some guy with crazier hair than me is scoring way better, and I'm just sitting here so very lonely. So very lonely. So please enjoy this elevator music while we sit here and wait for Bobby.
Your listenership is important to us. Please hold. An actual news show will be with you shortly. Please hold. Our host is currently having a mental breakdown. Please hold.
Niagara 124 outsource center now outsourced. Please hold button. Please pardon dust from nuclear facility. Soviet Onion trying to repair itself. Be back soon. Heart, Yvan. Delay taking too long. Time for me to tell you funny joke from last season. There was once great playboy general in Soviet Union. You know, big playboy. He go to village and he say, bring me the largest yak you have. So villagers go and bring him very tiny baby yak. And he says, what happened? I told you to bring me biggest yak. And they respond, well, from what we understand, you have misconception over word big. You know, whenever I have hankering for good home-cooked meal, I go to Pit in between Large Rock and Mid-Size Sedan. Pit in between Large Rock and Mid-Size Sedan, founded in 1926 after overthrow of Tsar in the Russian Revolution of the teens. Pit features such classics as Baby Like Napalm and Yak. Also features Mid-Size Sedan, which plays wonderful music. I have to play elevator music because I've lost control of my life. Yeah, Nico, you probably shouldn't have cut the payroll so severely, huh? You could probably use Italian Raul Castro and Old Man and all those other random bit characters you got rid of, huh? Ah, shut up. Do you want me to keep talking about the days of old Mother Russia?
You know what? I'd like you to talk about anything because I don't know, maybe Bobby's just walking backwards through time or something.
Okay, we'll talk about the time that Mother Russia was once Grandmother Russia, and it was crazy. It was great. It was so much fun time. So, Russia had a baby. The baby's name was Ukraine. And then Ukraine get bothered and, you know, rebel against Russia because you know how it is. You know the mother-daughter feuds, you know.
Well, I guess that's one way to put the Ukraine crisis.
Yes, it is one way to put Ukraine crisis. It is good way to put it.
Okay, thanks, Russian guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Tavano. Did your class let out late, or did you just have to, like, get a cup of coffee? Like,
talk about it in a minute.
You're gonna talk about it in a minute. So, folks, since we've delayed for 15 minutes,
and somehow kept all of our listeners, I'd like to thank you for staying on hold and choosing Niagara 124. Thank you for choosing Niagara 124. You could have chose a real show, but you chose us. We have a lot of news to cover, and I mean a lot. And
so
now
sorry.
we're backed up 16 minutes. So
so
what
sorry.
happened, Bobby?
We'll be able to cover it. Yeah, I was in my accounting class, and we had to go over something important today, because for my accounting class, which is managerial accounting, have you heard of the simulation program called Globus?
No.
All right, well, we have to do a simulation program thing, and we have to group up, and we have to compete with the other groups in the class, and we're graded on what rank we come in at the end. So it's very important. So we had to go over all that, get my group together. I sprinted here after I was out, so.
You better run.
So that's about it. Yeah, I was in there for a while. Sorry.
It was great. There was a moment we had a tour in front of us, and
tour?
I was doing the opening, and then the tour left because they're like, nope. So let's just go down the line. But first, breaking news. That was breaking before you were here, but I decided to hold it. Harper Lee, dead at 89.
Yes, I saw this.
Author of To Kill a Mockingbird. So yeah, that was breaking news, but by the time we got off a hold, it is no longer breaking.
I mean, it was
it's
breaking
now...
news at 10:30 this morning,
No,
10:40.
it wasn't. It was breaking news. I was checking.
It wasn't.
It was 11.
I saw it before I went to class, so.
Your lies. You lie. You lie. Oh, you lie. Liar.
Artifice.
Yeah, that's right.
Lies.
Yeah, you want to just... We're the death show today, just so you know. We're back to the death show. Are you texting someone?
I added my group member and he texted me, so.
Really, Bobby?
I need to add him
Phone's
as a
down.
contact.
You know what? I'm just going to go through it, and you could just ignore
Yes, I'm listening, so let's go.
me. Okay, so this thing with Apple and the feds.
Apple and the feds. They want to, the feds want Apple to make a version of their operating system with a backdoor so they can get into one of the shooters from San Bernardino.
Yes. That's it.
That's it. And
That's
Apple
it.
doesn't want to do it because it's a really big security threat, so.
Okay, so what was an interesting one was not only the feds have responded that Apple has actually complied to this about 70 times previously, and
Yeah.
only now have they decided because their newer operating system doesn't allow them to do it, so they don't want to have to make technically a backdoor.
They haven't had a backdoor though. That's the thing with.
Oh, their older OS. Oh,
Their
yeah.
older
No,
operating
their
system-
older operating systems absolutely did, because right now there's an issue where New York City police want Apple to open the backdoor of iOS 7 on a meth dealer, and Apple's just refusing to do it on principle, even though they've done it previously on iOS 7.
Haven't they always used end-to-end encryption though?
No.
No. Isn't
Well,
that
they have,
their
but there
thing?
used to be cheats back. Matter of fact, this was the argument, because they have complied to previous federal requests to open iPhones over 70 times.
Then why? What's
Because
the
their
problem now?
newest OSs, like the last probably 8 and 9, have a new style of encryption that they can't even hack into. They'd have to make a way to
Okay. Well, yeah,
crack it. And that's the new thing they did.
That's the thing though.
That's the post-NSA Snowden issue again. And, it's kind of a debate, because if it fell into the wrong hands, then everyone's stuff's going to get, backdoored to hell. But, I mean, we kind of want to be able to get inside of the phone, because this is a matter of national security. So this is kind of a coin toss. You have an opinion, tweet it at Niagara124. We'd like to hear from you. Please. 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 So, Justice Scalia's dead. That's old news. That was a week ago. That happened the day after last week's show. Of course it did. So yeah. I'm a political science person, so I totally should talk about this, but I really think that we've already talked about it. Okay? It's done. It's done. He's dead. Obama's like, it's my duty to, just do the thing. And the Republicans are like, no, Trump's supposed to elect it. Because we want Trump picking a judge, ladies and gentlemen. No, we don't. Oh! President Obama's going to Cuba. Okay, now I really do regret cutting Italian Castro off of the payroll. Okay, you were gone. I went through the payroll and I cut out all our old characters because we're not a high listen show anymore compared to all the other shows.
Oh.
So you know all those characters like the old guy and the Italian Raul Castro and all those bit players. I cut them all off the payroll, and the only person I kept was the Russian guy, but he's not getting Christmas bonus, and Sheepy's getting paid in like basically nothing because she's getting paid in shopping malls that are closed. So
What are you talking about?
okay, we have a payroll system. I know you never paid attention to it, Bobby, but this is actually a company, and I have to pay every character that comes on the show. And they're expensive. So I just cut the payroll, but now we need Italian Raul Castro, so I'm going to have to pay him. So are you ready, Bobby? For President Obama goes to Cuba.
No.
You're not? No. Well, you have to be. Bobby, you are now President Barack Obama.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
And here is Italian Raul Castro. Hey, President Obama, welcome to Cuba. You see, Bobby is no fun, which disappoints me because this was going to be a really fun show. But Bobby just sits here and he keeps looking out the window as if, please save me. I am surrounded by crazy people. So we'll move on. So, yeah, Mob Wife star Big Ange is dead. Yeah, she died of brain and lung cancer. Moving on.
I don't know who that is.
The Pope basically stated that Trump isn't Christian. And then Trump responded by attacking the Pope.
Attacking physically.
Verbally, not physically.
He punched
You want
the
to
Pope in the
physically
face.
attack the Pope Francis? Pope Francis will be like, Nombre Padre de Espiritu Santo, I break your face! Boom! It would be like the end. Like a switch would flip, and Pope Francis, like the entire Swiss Guard would be on Trump. So there was a dead baby dolphin in Argentina, and tourists took selfies with it. And the tourists are saying, well, it was already dead when we pulled it out of the water. But other people are like, oh, no, you killed it because it died of dehydration. But either way, why is there a giant crowd of tourists, like, crowd surfing a dead baby dolphin and taking selfies with it? People are stupid. Would you do that, Bobby? Would you take a selfie with a dead baby dolphin?
Probably not.
Okay, because you're a reasonable person. Freaking snow, man. That's actually what's written in the book. Freaking snow, man.
We had a lot of snow.
Tuesday, and I really wish they would have canceled the school, but I think Niagara Falls and Lewiston, they didn't cancel, but I think they were off for President's Day still on that Tuesday for some reason, because there was no buses or anything, but they weren't canceled.
My sister and my parents were off, so.
Yeah, and it's like, so I literally think that the school was like, oh, well, we'll see if the other two around us shut down. But they're not going to shut down because they're not open, period.
Yeah.
I mean, the roads were horrible.
Dude.
Horrible. I had to go home.
Yeah.
I shoveled so much snow. I was bad.
A lot of, commuters just didn't come.
Yeah, it was.
And
Two of my teachers canceled that day.
I live, 3 minutes away. I still didn't come.
I live, 8 minutes away, and getting here was, a nightmare because cars were skidding out on my street.
Oh my gosh.
Niagara Falls does not have enough plow workers to keep plowing snow that is continuously falling. And it wasn't snow, it was wet snow. It wasn't sleet, but it was wet snow, so it was just slush. And then it was heavy to shovel, and it was horrible, and snowblowers didn't work, so you had to shovel. I like the shovel. Move the dirt with the shovel. If you get that reference. That reference is on my blog. I have a blog now. Well,
Good-
actually, it's a
good for
web
you.
page,
You
and it
already
includes.
had a blog, but good for you.
Yeah, it includes. Well, it's a web page now on WordPress, but it's cool because it has the International Foosball League now that you refuse to join.
Yeah, 'cause
we
I
have
don't feel
8
like playing
members.
football.
We have 8 members.
8,
It's
wow.
awesome. It's awesome, and we've all competed with each other. And I am currently 3-3. I was 1-3, but now I'm 3-3 because I started winning. Our current kind of champion is Michael Pearl. Shout out to Michael Pearl, who is 4-0. He is undefeated. So yeah,
Oh, so South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley has endorsed Marco Rubio. Which means absolutely nothing, because Trump, at the Trump debate, and I call it the Trump debate, it was the Republican debate, but let's just call it the Trump party debate. Because after he says that they knew there was no weapons of mass destruction, and 9/11 happened on George Bush's watch, and it's George Bush's fault 9/11 happened, he's still getting votes. That is the least Republican thing you can say. That is Republican suicide, what he just did.
What?
And he's still getting votes.
Blaming
George Bush for
Bush
9/11.
did 9/11.
Yeah. Like, it happened on his watch. No, it happened because of a huge mess of stupidity that had to do with the previous administration. Not even the administration, but the fact that there was a lot of arguing going on between, the Republican Congress and the Democratic, president over stupid affairs, and no one was paying attention to national security, obviously.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
I will hit you. I will hit you so hard. Don't you bring that nonsense into here. This is facts only, man.
Donald Trump.
An opinion's not allowed on here unless it's mine.
Donald Trump with the facts. Bush did 9/11.
Oh, there's a new Russian anti-smoking poster, and it has a photo of Obama smoking on it, and it says, "Don't smoke, don't be like Obama."
Wait, what?
Yeah, it just says, "Don't smoke, don't be like Obama," and has a photo of Obama smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, oh, that is just... See, this is why we can't get along with Russia, because one day they're like, oh, we'll work together with you, and then the next day it's like, oh, we'll put your president on anti-smoking poster and compare him to mass murderer.
Putin can't be in memes, or else there's gonna be a
if
big
you put
problem.
Putin... Did you see, there's like Putin cologne... We talked earlier, several shows ago about the Putin calendar, where like one is like the strength of the Soviet military is unmatched, and the next one's like, I like puppies. Puppies seem to respect me. I mean, it's like the poster, and it's literally like the poster. It's just Putin quotes out of context. This is news somehow. See, I just type in news and see what comes up. Kim Kardashian tapes her breasts when she takes selfies. That's not news. Nobody cares. Good job, Kardashian. But we're going to talk about it because I need an excuse to talk about a Kardashian at least every episode. Ainsley Eckhart is taking over for Elizabeth Hasselbeck on Fox and Friends. Something no one cares. Paul McCartney wasn't allowed into Tyga's post Grammy party, and literally Paul McCartney screamed like, "How VIP do I have to be to get in here? I am Sir freaking Paul McCartney!" And they wouldn't let him in. And allegedly, Tyga responded on Twitter like, "Dude, I didn't know anything about this. That was the bouncers. What? I totally would have let Sir Paul in. Don't kill me, man. Don't kill me," because the Sir Paul fans were gonna kill him. This was just, I'm not even gonna talk about this, but this was literally on CBS News. This is the headline: Anti-Beyonce protest overwhelmed by anti-Beyonce protesters.
Anti-Beyonce.
Yes, because ever since Beyonce's Super Bowl performance and her show, we've decided that there needs to be some big deal about it. Nobody cares. SNL may have had their funniest moment though with it. They had it was a horror film. It was the fact that all the white people have now just realized that Beyonce is black, and it terrifies them. And I'm like, it is so terribly accurate. Really, guys? Why is this shocking? It's not. Really? Let's make controversy. Okay. Rudy Giuliani needs to open his mouth. It's disrespectful to police officers. You know what? Everything's disrespectful to police officers. Here's the deal. How about everyone just respect everyone? It's all that two-way street stuff, you know? And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Puma signed Kylie Jenner after Kanye tweeted that Puma in no way would ever get Kylie Jenner.
Oh my gosh, nobody cares.
Exactly. Kanye's also flat broke and begging for money on Twitter, so Kanye's having a mental breakdown right now.
Did you see How many people pirated his new album?
Yeah, what?
No.
That was just. He was on SNL and it was like boring. I don't know. He's boring. You hear about Ronda Rousey? She was on Ellen.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so Ronda Rousey lost to Holly Holm like months ago, and then afterward was on SNL and got all these gigs and stuff. But she stated on Ellen that she contemplated suicide after losing to Holly Holm because she thought, if I'm not the champion, then what am I? I'm worthless.
Well, maybe you should get some help for that.
And then but the automatic response is, and this has nothing to do with that. Ronda Rousey needed to lose. Everyone kind of realized that. She got what ended up giving her depression was the news was very happy that she lost because in the weigh-in before... Now, Ronda Rousey won... I can't remember who she won her title off of, but the person she won her title off of was kind of a jerk and, like, really pompous and full of herself. Like, I'm the greatest. So it was kind of like, yay, Ronda won, bringing it back to real. And then Ronda Rousey started getting really, really, really cocky. Like, I am the greatest. No one can beat me. Like Clubber Lang and like she pulled a Clubber Lang in Rocky 3, and then Holly Holm kicked her in the head and took the championship. And then Ronda Rousey was all sad faced because everybody's like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. And then she got all sad. And then they offered her to host SNL and be in movies and be a celebrity and be awesome. So you know what? But she now wants to still beat Holly Holm and get her title back because this is all she knows how to do, even though she could totally be in movies and commercials and SNL and make a ton of money. She seems to like just beating the crap out of things. Go
Meh.
Rhonda. Wake Forest University scientists are printing body parts like ears, muscles, and jawbones. This was in the news.
Like,
this is old news. They have been doing this for several years now. This has been in the testing phase.
Okay.
They use like stem cell DNA, or they use DNA cells, and then they have a plastic for like skeletal fragment basically, and then they print the body part over it, and then it can be that way. The DNA matches, so it won't be rejected. But that's been going on for a while now. I don't know why that was news. 150,000 Adelaide penguins died after an iceberg cut
I saw
off.
this.
But they didn't really die. They
didn't really
nonsense.
die? It was
scientists are saying, okay, first of all, we haven't found 150,000 dead penguins. They disappeared after the iceberg went. Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but... And this is literally what the scientist said. I don't know if you understand this, you stupid people, but, penguins have something called mobility. They don't like where they are. They can move somewhere else. There's no food there. They move.
Why? Where did this come from that they died? Like,
Because, they did a scan and there was like a giant colony of penguins.
Yeah.
And then an iceberg moved there, and then when they checked it again, all the penguins were gone. So they're like, oh, they must have died. Well, don't you think you would have found 150,000? You would at least find one dead penguin floating around from 150,000. I don't know. Penguins, man. Penguins, man. Back to the Grammys. Grammys.
I didn't watch the Grammys.
Adele.
I don't care.
Excitement.
Hoo-hoo.
Gaga. So, Adele sounded horrible.
I bet she did.
And the reason she sounded bad, I'm like looking like, wow, this is bad even for Adele. But the mic that was on the piano fell into the strings of the piano. So it just sounded like someone was playing a bad acoustic guitar. And they kept turning down the music so Adele couldn't hear it. So she was way off key.
Oh, man.
And it was just it was horrible to watch. And Gaga was that Bowie tribute with like the random, like, let's use Intel to put a face over her face. And as she moves, it tries to keep up, but it can't because Intel has not figured out how to keep it on. So it just kind of like gets confused and is like, oh, I guess her eyes are on her chin now. Okay.
What are you talking about?
You would have to watch the Grammys.
What do you mean Intel?
Our listeners. Okay, Intel, the computer company,
Yeah.
did a thing where they created a face scan thing, so they would project things onto Gaga's face as she was doing her show. The fact that you didn't watch it is just disappointing. Hookers for Hillary. Woo! So in Nevada, there's a group in a brothel that call themselves Hookers for Hillary.
and they're Hillary Clinton supporters. And I just thought it was so beautiful that, I mean, that is as American as you can get. Hookers for Hillary.
Hookers for Hillary.
Yep. Also, if you go to jebbush.com, it redirects you to Donald Trump's website.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you go to so jebbush.com, something slipped up, and if you go to tedcruz.com, it sends you to just a note that says support Obama and the immigration debate, and because he's tedcruz.net and someone else had bought tedcruz.com.
Someone else.
But if you go to jebbush.com, Jeb's team, there was some sort of gap between when they were supposed to re-register for, you have to re-register the domain, or whatever the domain every so often.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like a day or so gap, a couple hours or something that it went up, and someone bought it and redirected it to Donald. So if you type in jebbush.com, it sends you to Donald Trump's political site.
There was the guy that bought Google.com when it went down for like a few minutes, and then they had to they gave him money to buy it back from him, but then he said he was gonna donate it all to charity because it was like to show how easy it is for somebody to do that, like with security and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they paid him what was 600613. And then like it was spelled out Google, the money, but then they doubled it, so he was donating it to charity, so they gave him double that. But yeah, I don't know, it was just a story.
Okay. Astronaut ice cream's a lie, man.
What?
Okay, I was watching a video yesterday. So you know that astronaut ice cream, that freeze-dried horrible ice cream that they sell at like everywhere?
I mean,
the astronaut
everywhere.
ice that little, well, all those science places and things like that. Astronaut
the
ice
Buffalo
cream.
Museum of Science.
Yeah, you know it, the astronaut ice cream. It's not real. It was never sent. It was never a real thing.
I knew it was never real.
You knew that there was no such thing as astronaut ice cream, that freeze-dried ice cream was a myth?
Freeze-dried ice cream, like, what?
Okay, so the astronaut ice cream they're selling,
everyone
believed that it was based off of real astronaut food.
Why would they, I don't know. I don't understand.
Fake.
I don't understand why they would, like, sell it all if it was supposed to be for astronauts.
Because, well, oh my gosh.
Like, I just...
Yes, Bob, are we back to the point where you think the guardrail's gonna stab you, Bob?
I realize it's a product. Like, I just...
It would be during the old astronaut era, back before they were able to, like, rehydrate their food.
Yeah.
They have fridges on the International Space Station. Astronaut ice cream is regular ice cream. But back in, like, the Apollo days and everything had to be dried or freeze-dried or rehydrated.
Yeah.
It was horrible. But, so people think, well, freeze-dried, the astronaut ice cream. Because there was one manuscript from Apollo 7 that said that there was vanilla ice cream. There wasn't. That was a myth. That was a lie. The media kept, like, doing that, and then the company started selling it. There's no confirmation, and it's not real. Astronaut ice cream was made for stupid people that want to be like, I'm just like an astronaut, and eat horrible tasting awfulness.
That's what I figured it was for.
They should totally sell, though the video pointed out there were bacon squares.
Bacon squares.
Like dehydrated bacon squares. And the astronauts, in the event that there was a malfunction in the launch and they ended up at sea, they kept in their suits, they stored the bacon squares because they put it inside of their suit. Like, because they knew, like, if we're marooned, we need to have bacon squares, man. We need the bacon squares. So they should totally sell the bacon squares.
There's too much spaghetti in my pockets. It's all falling out.
Mom spaghetti. So yesterday on the way back home, there was a helicopter in downtown Niagara Falls.
Oh my goodness! Did
you hear about that?
I thought you were gonna say Holocaust, but then
what the?
Just ignore that. Just ignore that. Ignore that.
Oh, Bobby.
There was a helicopter.
Bobby, there was a copter, Bobby. So I was at my grandpa's house, and all of a sudden there's this helicopter overhead. And then I go home, and it's still overhead. And my mom's like, well, I think the helicopter's following you. I'm like, why? Because Sharif don't like it. And I made a reference to Rock the Casbah that no one cares. But anyway, so this morning I find out it was a police helicopter. It wasn't following me, but someone escaped from, like, the Memorial Medical Center, like a convict or something. They were, I don't know why he was in the hospital. He might have been injured or something. But he escaped, so they were searching downtown to see where he went. So they had the helicopter trying to find him. I'm like, oh, so that's why it was following me.
Did they find him?
It didn't say. And you have to pay money. I still haven't updated my Gazette, so I can't
get the answer.
I didn't like. Whoa.
I don't know if they found him. If anyone knows if they found
Was
him.
anybody like arrested recently? Like, who is this person? I have never. Heard,
I don't know.
Heard anything going on.
I don't know. It just happened yesterday.
Just
It was
happened
last
yesterday.
night, man. Yeah. Oh, here's one. The El Nino is weakening. But you're not gonna feel it because it's like barely weakening, and you know, you'll feel it in like, you know, July maybe. So yeah, El Nino.
Please.
Blame it all on
Please
El
don't.
Nino.
Please.
Blame the wind, blame the sun, blame anything but me. No. So a tour helicopter crashed into Pearl Harbor.
Oh man.
Yeah. Everyone
Just-
seems to have survived. One's critical,
We're
but everyone
just
seems to have
full of
survived.
World War II today.
Yeah. Yeah. That's your fault. No. The views expressed in Niagara 124 are not necessarily the views of WNI Radio, the people on Niagara 124, or Sheepy. Leave Sheepy out of this. Oh, so did you hear about the new Galaxy S7, man?
Oh my gosh, the one that wasn't officially announced.
Yeah, but it's still gonna use micro USB, and it's not gonna be use the new style USB.
I mean, like the leaks.
Yeah,
leaks
the
for
leaks.
The
The
new
leaks,
iPhone,
yeah.
iPhone 7 coming out this year. Breaking
No,
news
man.
leaked right now.
Really?
It's gonna be like 20 inches long.
It's gonna be the size of a mid-sized sedan. I know at least 2 teachers of mine that would like it to be that. I don't understand why people like giant phones. I have a 5S. I'm okay with the size of 5S because I put it in an OtterBox and then it is the size of a brick from the 90s. But like Bobby's phone,
This isn't that big.
yeah, but if I put your
It
phone
fits
in
my
an-
hand.
if I put your phone in an OtterBox, it would be massive.
This compared to the 6 Plus. The 6 Plus is like.
I know but I don't understand. That's why it seems like there was a theory that iPhone's coming out with a new phone where they're going to try to shove a 6 into a 5S. Basically, they're going to just size it back down again. And I'm
gonna
like,
cut
they
it open.
totally did. They finally, yeah. They're just
gonna-
going to shove all the electronics in there. Like this is, if you've ever watched Electro Boom on YouTube.
No.
There's this guy from Canada, his name, and he called Electro Boom, and he just like he was destroying a phone and stuff, but he always like electrocutes himself and stuff in every episode.
All right.
His No Shave November videos are beautiful. He lit his beard on fire one time.
I'll do
He
that.
he used a taser to try to take it off. He's kind of crazy. So you hear about Error 53 in the iPhone? It was that thing. There's 2 errors right now, but this was the one where if you had a third-party person, like a third-party repair, like Apple didn't repair your iPhone,
Yeah,
it
I
would
heard about
shut
this.
down your iPhone. So yeah, they're gonna fix that now because they realize that people will just try to destroy them.
I also heard about the setting the date to January 1st, 1970, and just having it brick the entire phone when you
Yeah,
restart it.
yeah, that is ridiculous. So yeah, man. Obama's putting sanctions on North Korea.
North Korea, because they're doing stupid stuff.
Yes, they are. Stupid. They're doing stupid stuff. Oh, here's one. So in Delaware, the Brandywine School District, they sent an email to all the parents in the school district, but they accidentally attached the hurt feelings report. Have you ever? It's like an internet joke, and it's like a legal form, but it's like time spent whining,
Yeah.
amount of whining. They accidentally attached it to the email, and it went out to all the parents. So now they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't mean anything by that." I'm like, "No, you totally should send that all up here. Why are you whining?" Time spent. I love that. I want that report. Like, I want copies of that report in this studio. And dun da da, because Italian Raul Castro and Barack Obama didn't want to have a meeting, we got nothing.
Well,
We're done. But we're still going to talk about things.
so we're going to talk about things. Yeah, we didn't talk about anything about North Korea. I thought we were going to go into that, but we didn't.
What about North Korea?
Haven't they been doing like a ton of stupid stuff?
Oh,
Like they have like a launch and
they launched a rocket with a satellite, and everyone was like terrified, and it was like a big deal. And then, sure enough, the satellite started malfunctioning, and they can't get it to work.
Yeah.
And America's like, "Oh, you can't get your satellite to work?" You know, we probably nuked it
And
or
now
something.
like something's going on with like South Korea too. Like they're like, I don't know, something happened.
I don't know.
I forgot, but Or maybe nothing.
I don't know.
I just thought that's why we were like getting all up in there. Korea.
Getting up in the Korea. Woo!
All right.
It's like the foosball league, man.
It's not like the foosball league.
It's like the foosball league.
I'm very tired today.
Yeah, I can
didn't talk
tell.
I walked here very quickly. I was out of breath and now I'm tired. So I need to sleep forever.
I'm just gonna sleep forever.
Yes, for a very long time. Forever and ever.
I'm like,
yes. How was your week?
how was my week?
Yeah.
Snowy.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff to do next week. I have a midterm next week, and it's not even midterm week.
I have a test next week too. So that's
I have
good.
like 2 tests next week, but I have a midterm,
Okay.
which is very weird.
We got one more week until break for a week.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
I need a break.
Silence.
I like how if you go on wna.niagara.edu, it says that on air now is Radio Selly. It's
That's
not.
us.
It's
That's us.
Niagara
That's
124.
Us. That's what we are. That's our show.
Niagara 124.
That's us exactly.
Someone totally needs to repair that. Also, if you go to currently playing on our Icecast, it says Rock the Casbah.
Which is not playing. You can. Michael showed me how to change that. We can change it to say that our show's playing if you want.
I think it's a little late for that.
I know, but maybe next time. I don't know if I remember how to do it. I might have to ask him again, but yeah. So. I might have forgotten.
Well, Bobby.
So yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, I can tell you're tired.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do?
Yeah, I'm actually really hungry also. So.
This is going to be the shortest show in history. We didn't start until 12:20, and now we're ending at like 12:50.
Was not ready to go today whatsoever.
No, you weren't. You really weren't. And I needed a co-host. I'm disappointed
I'm sorry.
in you.
I'm sorry.
You've made me sad.
Open the notebook back up. Let me look at it. Let's
nothing
talk
in
about
here.
let's talk about something. Let me look at it and see if I see anything, and then I'll talk about it. There. Thank you.
Okay, I'm giving Bobby the notebook.
Oh my goodness, I can't read any of this.
Of course not.
What's la economia?
Oh, you want to talk about
The economy?
That was I was going to talk about the economy.
Okay.
But it was going to go on for like 30 minutes.
Okay.
You want me to
We
rant?
have nothing else to do.
Okay. Time to rant about the economy.
I'm in macroeconomics class, so.
Okay, great. So we were talking about, how the gas prices keep dropping and all the 401ks are now losing tons of money.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, that's because these 401k people do not diversify enough the damn portfolios.
Diversify the portfolios.
They don't.
You gotta do it. You gotta do
They
it, Mr.
don't.
Hall.
I don't
would be
know
proud of
what
you.
the 401. I mean, the 401k. Most people cannot plan your own 401k, so you just go with the standard. But 4 years ago, I would have said put your money in oil because it's good. It's 2016. Oil is unstable. Anything brick and mortar is unstable. Internet is good, but hit or miss. You need to diversify. The fact is, you should not be losing 15 grand of your 401k because the oil prices keep dropping. That means there's too much invested in the oil companies, obviously.
Well, we gotta invest in something else.
I would suggest investing in paper products.
Paper products? Why paper products?
Because everyone needs paper products. I don't know.
Paper products like...
I would invest in... I wouldn't invest in Apple right now. Apple's not having a good time. I'd invest in Google. Oh, I would love Google.
It's probably, I don't know. How much, it's how much you need to invest is based on their stock value, correct?
Yeah.
So how much would you have to invest in Google to get a return on anything if the stock value goes up?
How much would you...
how investing, how does it work? Explain.
Okay, so how investing
I took an investing
works,
class and I don't remember anything.
Is you buy shares of a company.
Yes.
And
How much is Google's share? How much is one share of Google worth
way
right
too
now?
expensive.
Because that's what I was saying. It's how much would you need to have to invest in Google? Because their stock value is probably insane.
$701.
$701 for a single share of
in
Google.
Alphabet.
Yeah.
because they haven't done a stock split. So yeah, you need a lot of money. You'd only be able to buy one stock. So it's not something you could really invest in now. But, I mean, back when we did this in Mr. Hall's class,
Yeah.
that's going to be loud.
Did you invest in Radio Shack? How's Radio Shack doing?
Oh, Radio Shack went bankrupt. Oh, I take it back. What happened? Oh,
Huh?
that's just today. Okay, what's the year?
Procter and Gamble Co.
Ooh, they fell.
I don't know what that is.
Procter & Gamble.
What is
They're
that?
the ones behind, like laundry detergent and.
Like what laundry detergent?
They own. Hold on a sec.
Just like it's not like Tide or anything.
Hold on a sec.
It's just- okay.
Wow, is this everything that P&G owns?
Wait.
Okay. 007 men's fragrances, Clairol, Ellen Vitrix, Hugo Boss, La Costa fragrances, Naomi Campbell, Olay, Rejoice, Sebastian Professional, Secret, Roche's Old Spice, Natural Instincts, Solanda Head and Shoulders, CoverGirl, Aussie, Herbal Essences, Nice and Easy, Pantene, Vidal Sassoon, Always, Bounty, Pampers, Puffs, Loves, Tampax, Bounce, Cascade, Charmin, Comet, Dawn, Downy, Mr. Clean, Eukanuba, Iams, Pepto-Bismol, Venus, the Mach 3, Vicks, Fusion, Metamucil, Prilosec, Oral-B, Scope, Crest, Gillette. They own a lot.
How much is their stock worth?
$81.
That's.
Let's try Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark is the other version of
Aren't those all like really,
These are mass
really
companies.
well bought products? Yeah, like.
Yeah, and their stocks. I don't know why they're failing. Let's try. Ooh, Kimberly-Clark. Oh, why didn't I invest in this last? Oh, guys, I had said my senior year of high school. I said invest in Kimberly-Clark. It has gone up from in 2012. Let's see, where was I? I graduated 2014. So I probably said in September of 2013 it was $93. It's currently $129.99. So it went up. Oh, $129.93. I apologize. It just changed again. But it's doing, unlike it's doing better than Procter & Gamble, I will say that. But there's also, basically, I'm a loser. I go into these big companies that own a lot of, like, home products. Of course, I don't actually invest in stock, but I tell people to invest in these. Because I have forever been angry at the oil companies after 8th grade. You'll remember the stock game in Miss Sotelo class.
Yeah,
Where John in your class picked Apple, and
Yeah.
I picked Exxon, and Exxon was way ahead. And then 2 days before it was set for us to win, an oil refiner in California exploded.
Yeah.
And our stock went into the hole. And then John and his friends kept running around screaming that they were the ones that blew up the oil refinery, and I really wish I had contacts with the FBI back then.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All this because you guys got Bev Evans and I didn't, man.
Bob Evans. Oh my gosh.
It was foolproof at the time. Everything was oil back then. I wonder, does Radio Shack still have a stock?
Shock.
A shuck.
Shock stock.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's just gone. All
It's
right.
gone. They shut down.
Rip
It was
in
at
peace.
last time I checked, it was at like 20 cents before they went bankrupt. There was a minute where it was like $1, and that's when we fictionally bought it. Aaron and I remember, and then it went up to $2, and then we should have fictionally sold it because it went down to 20 cents and then bankrupted.
Yeah. Well, Radio Shack is completely useless.
No,
so-
Radio Shack is actually quite useful.
What the heck do you need at Radio Shack?
Okay,
What do
so one time, I have an old television. I have a CRT. So I needed composite cable. I needed an HDMI to composite because my Blu-ray has no composite output.
Yeah,
it only has
I wonder why.
HDMI.
Because nobody
So
uses
I
it.
had to get the converter, and Amazons were all over the place with theirs, and it would take too long to ship. And I wanted to watch my movie, so I went to Radio Shack, and I bought it at Radio Shack. You need that glowing wire that they have at raves. You can get it at Radio Shack. You want a little tiny BB-8 that can drive around your desk? Radio Shack. You want awesome batteries? Radio Shack. You want headphones? But you want maybe one microphone? Radio Shack. You need random wires? Radio Shack. You don't want to have to wait for Amazon? Radio Shack.
Radio Shack is useless.
No, it's not. Radio Shack is awesome.
Radio Shack is awesome if you're like from 10 years ago.
Did you ever see, there's a John Oliver skit talking about how you're laughing at Radio Shack's demise, and Radio Shack will laugh at you as you die in your grave. It was a John Oliver skit. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was like, yes, but we all go to our grave someday, and we will still be standing here with our batteries. It was great. Because we're just letting these companies die.
Yep. Radio Shack. Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago maybe would have been good. But,
You know what, Bobby? You know what, Bobby? This concludes Niagara 124. Yeah. Bye, guys.
yeah, okay. Bye-bye.